It's day 3 of our 13-day Japan adventure. We head out on an early start to our first destination, Asakusa. This vibrant district where the classic Japanese culture mixes with the modern age is home to the traditional rickshaw and the Unarimon Temple. The area is flourishing with shops catering to the regular hordes of tourists making their way to get their own taste of what Asakusa has to offer. It is also one of the few places in Japan where you can wear a kimono, or a traditional Japanese costume. A key feature of Asakusa is providing its visitors with a variety of experience and still maintaining its cohesive brand. The shops here have a certain way of presenting themselves that is uniquely Japanese. They usually specialize in only one product and invests heavily more on the quality rather than the quantity of what their customers can get. From snacks to crafts and things you might find trivial back home, Asakusa has its own way of presenting these ordinary things and allowing you to experience them in familiar but different ways. If you get hungry with all the walking, there is no shortage of options here. We chose to grab light snacks to prepare ourselves for a planned heavy lunch. We had this snack sold in one of the stores near Unarimon Temple. We don't know what it's called, but it tastes great, and the cost of less than 200 yen or 100 Philippine pesos all played a part in our buying decision. Almost immediately, you'll get a sense of being caught between two contrasting emotions. One holds tradition and affinity to the foundations laid in its base, and the other greets you with a breeze of contemporary advancements. It is this very feature of high contrast that makes Asakusa a vivid image in the foreground of Tokyo's expanding New Age era. Just a few steps away from Asakusa is one of Tokyo's oldest inhabitants, the Sumida River. Its banks are lined with some of Tokyo's most prominent architectural structures such as the Tokyo Skytree. Something that I wish we had done in the Philippines is to develop our waterways into recreational parks where residents can enjoy the scenic view or engage in an afternoon walk with family and friends. The river has been a thriving life form, supporting the capital from its agricultural age and through its transformation to the titanic metropolis it is known today. It embodies a noticeable characteristic of the Japanese culture, where it is silent yet constantly moving. The Sumida River has adapted very well to Tokyo's present-day landscape, flowing under 26 bridges, serving Tokyo's highways and public transportation systems. A walk in this river park was just what we needed to build up our appetite. Ichiran Ramen has a lot of branches in Japan, and it's popular for both local and tourists for a reason. Once you enter the restaurant, you need to queue up in one of these vending machines so you can put in your order. Any additional orders made once you're seated will be charged an extra 250 yen. These sheets will allow you to modify your order according to your preference. Once you're seated, give the attendant the order slip and wait for your ramen to be served. The taste of the ramen at Ichiran delivers to the hype. I felt like something inside me has always known that this is how a ramen should taste, so it comes to me as something very familiar, and yet here I am tasting it for the first time. Well, what better way to conclude a savory meal than with a matcha ice cream? After filling our guts with good food, we had a lot of calories to burn, and so we headed for the Shinjuku Gyoen garden. We entered through the Shinjuku gate, which is accessible on foot from exit 1 of the Shinjuku Gyoen main station. It's a 250-acre park, so if you want to explore all of it, come early as it closes at 5:30 p.m. And here in Japan, they mean exactly 5:30 p.m. You'll have to pay 150 yen for your tickets through one of these vending machines. The instructions are available in English and are easy to follow. Once you have your tickets, you can scan it at the gates to gain entrance. Well, I don't really know the right words to describe the beauty of this park, so I guess I'll just have to let it speak for itself. We found one cherry tree blooming even when it's not in season. It's rare, but it's possible. It's truly an unexpected surprise to conclude our day. Our next day begins with our own version of Amazing Race Japan. There's actually 8 of us traveling, but because we wanted to score the best value for our airline tickets, we arrived 2 days apart and had separate itineraries for the first few days. But today, we're all going to the same place. 4 teams will now race to the small town of Nikko. Teams using the JR Pass can travel on Japan's famous high-speed bullet train known as the Shinkansen. Alternatively, teams using the Tobo Nikko passes can take the direct trains boarding from the Tobo station in Asakusa. Outside the window aboard the Shinkansen, you can observe the metropolitan vibe change to a rural atmosphere as buildings grow smaller and slowly replaced by agricultural lands. If you are taking the JR Shinkansen, you will need to make a transfer at Utsunomiya Station to these charming older trains in the JR Nikko line. The 1-hour train ride will give you a glimpse of what to expect once you get to Nikko. The Nikko station welcomes you with a vintage feel and introduces you to another side of Japan where nature and society coexist without pressure. We were immediately met with a detour. We were informed at the Tourist Information Center in the JR Nikko station that the usual 2-hour bus ride to Ryuzu Falls now takes 4 hours due to the heavy traffic of tourists hoping to experience the autumn hues of Nikko. Luckily, the leaves at the temple close by have started to change, giving us our first taste of the foliage. After eating lunch, we headed out to the famous Shinkyo Bridge, regarded as one of Japan's most beautiful bridges. On normal days, it would take 10 minutes by bus to get here from the JR or Tobu stations. With the heavy traffic during the peak season such as today, it can take up to an hour. So we came here on foot, which only took about 30 minutes. This is a World Heritage Site, so to continue funding its preservation and maintenance, you must pay an entrance fee, which is very affordable at only 150 yen. This was one of the magical experiences we had during our stay in Japan. Even if the leaves have not fully changed colors yet, there's so much beauty to appreciate in this one place. The weakening light of the sun as it prepares to set in the west, occasionally interrupted by the falling leaves, and the duet of the songs of crickets harmonized by the sound of the water running freely below, all created a dreamlike scene, one that pleases the eye and continues to infect you with the calmness and peace it exudes. That ends our adventure in Nikko. Despite the experience being brief, we leave today with a memory that will resonate on, constantly calling us back until we find ourselves in this place again. As we prepare to return to Tokyo, we'll end this video here with a delicious bento box we got from the station. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel for more of our adventures in Japan.